Aiming at finding and developing innovative startup ideas towards achieving the goals of sustainable development, the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) organized the SDG Challenge 2017, which includes a combination of contests and the Startup Acceleration Program. Participating teams must be Vietnamese startups or have founders currently working in the country. Ideas that require novelty, creativity, and social direction. The startups themselves must ensure the long-term viability of the project, including finance and human resources. Hello and welcome to Sharing Vietnam. Recently, United Nations Development Programme and Hedge Venture has kicked off SDG Challenge 2017. It is an initiative aiming at finding innovative startups towards the sustainable development goals in Vietnam. What should be done to encourage SDG entrepreneurship? Let's have a talk with Mr. Sean O'Connell from UNDP to have more insights. Hello, thank you for joining our show. What is the role of business community in general and startup in particular in reaching the SDG?
Well, first of all, businesses were heavily involved in the development of the SDGs. They were consulted and they recognized that they would play a very important role. So many businesses around the world are already coming forward to help to achieve the SDGs. Along with that, businesses and startups play a very important role in the SDGs in terms of respecting sustainable development, so respecting the environment, respecting human rights, respecting workers' rights, and ensuring sustainable business practices that don't interfere or negatively affect sustainable development. But also businesses will play a very important role in directly contributing to development efforts. So there are many new challenges we face in development, many new issues, and business can provide an opportunity of directly contributing in their services or in their goods to filling gaps in poverty or climate change or inequality.
Then what is the simplest way to figure out the definition of SDG entrepreneurship?
Oh, it's very easy. So I suppose if you think about what drives a business, so businesses look for demand for a product or a service. And what we're looking at the moment is some of the biggest problems the world's ever faced, as I mentioned before: climate change, inequality, poverty, hunger, huge issues that demand huge new solutions. So there's demand for global demand for the solutions to these problems. So that's where business can step in. So the easiest way to understand it is many businesses now recognize that there is money to be made in terms of having a good social or environmental impact. That happens now all the time. But what we're saying is that how do you measure your social or environmental impact? We're saying use the SDGs. So SDG entrepreneurship is recognizing that there are these demands in the world, building a business around reaching or meeting those demands, and using the SDGs as your framework to measure if you're doing it well. So not just turning around saying, I'm doing a good job protecting the environment, I'm doing a good job protecting workers' rights, actually finding it in the SDGs, in the goals, to see how to measure your contribution, and that way we can know for sure. Because it's worth remembering, the SDGs are a universally accepted tool for measuring sustainable development, and it's the only one we have.
Could you brief us some highlights of SDG Challenge 2017?
So far, the biggest highlight is, as part of the SDG Challenge, we ran a series of workshops, introduction and training workshops on SDG entrepreneurship, on adapting your business to the SDGs and what the SDGs mean for your business. So we held workshops in Hanoi, in Da Nang, and in Ho Chi Minh City. We had a great response in Hanoi. In Da Nang, we were very welcome because in Da Nang, they commented that unfortunately they don't always receive a lot of activity in the area of entrepreneurship or promoting innovation, because a lot of the focus is on Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi. So we were very grateful for us to go there, and actually the response was quite strong, especially among younger people in Da Nang who are very interested to know more. So we're very interested in going back to Da Nang and helping them continue to grow. Ho Chi Minh had the strongest response. We had an excellent response from the startup community and the business sector in Ho Chi Minh City, again with many students coming out and younger people coming out also. There's quite a vibrant startup community in Ho Chi Minh, and they have a strong understanding of what it means to have a social or environmental impact. And we're very interested to know more about the challenge, and I believe we had a strong response in terms of people who are actually going to submit applications. So in total the series was hugely successful. We had over 150 participants across the 3 cities, and yeah, we look forward to receiving their applications now and providing, selecting the winners and working with them to produce an SDG impact business.
Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) are the series of 17 targets related to the future of international development. This is considered as the important destination of every economy and nation in the world. In the meantime, the role of the business sector is extremely important, as it is capable of providing both human and financial resources to meet the urgent needs of a sustainable society.
Bọn mình cũng đã tham gia 5 năm nay vào cái mảng về hỗ trợ phát triển khởi nghiệp vì cộng đồng, tức là cái hoạt động về doanh nghiệp xã hội. Thì vào thời điểm hiện tại thì bọn mình đang làm một cái nghiên cứu về nghiên cứu quốc gia về thực trạng doanh nghiệp xã hội ở Việt Nam. Theo cái kết quả nghiên cứu của bọn mình ấy, thì cái việc mà các hoạt động về khởi nghiệp mà vì cộng đồng cũng như phát triển bền vững thì nó đang trở thành một cái phong trào đi song hành cùng với lại cái phong trào khởi nghiệp nói chung ở Việt Nam.
Sustainable business is an enterprise which is sustainable on 3 aspects: economic, social, and environmental. It means that they are not only interested in promoting their businesses to gain revenues and profits, but also in pursuing social and environmental goals, ensuring the harmony of the interests and related parties. However, number of such businesses are not remarkable. According to experts, the core issue lies in the perception of community development in the mindset of people who are already entrepreneurs or on the way to startup.
Có một câu chuyện là khi bọn mình là trường Đại học Kinh tế Quốc dân nên là chủ yếu liên quan đến giảng dạy về kinh tế và quản trị kinh doanh và quản lý. Thì khi mà thảo luận với lại các sinh viên về câu chuyện là khởi nghiệp vì xã hội và vì cộng đồng ấy, thì các bạn rất là ngạc nhiên. Các bạn bảo là tất cả khi mà nói đến kinh doanh và khởi nghiệp thì là phải tạo ra lợi ích nhiều nhất cho bản thân mình. Tại sao lại nghĩ đến cái câu chuyện người khác? Tuy nhiên thì ở đây bọn mình vẫn phải lồng ghép vào cái câu chuyện là tại sao các bạn không tiếp cận từ góc độ gọi là win-win, tức là cùng thắng. Tức là chúng ta vẫn có thể có khởi nghiệp của mình mà trong khi đó chúng ta vẫn có thể đóng góp được một câu chuyện gì đó cho cộng đồng.
Therefore, to truly promote entrepreneurship associated with sustainable development, solving the problem from the root is paramount. That means future generations of entrepreneurs need to be properly educated and trained since being at school.
Trường Đại học Kinh tế Quốc dân rất quan tâm tới việc tạo điều kiện cho các em sinh viên ngay từ khi ngồi trên ghế nhà trường. Thì ngay trong chương trình đào tạo của nhà trường đã lồng ghép các cái kiến thức về trách nhiệm xã hội, về đạo đức kinh doanh.
With your experiences in UNDP, do you think encouraging business to pursue sustainable development is a difficult task?
It is a tough task. It's a tough task, but I think what we've been doing through this series and what we'll be doing today with the students, and what I'd like to say to you now is that a lot of the evidence and a lot of the data supports businesses should be doing more to enter this area. It's been a tough task in many respects, but one thing I would say is that there are huge opportunities for business in terms of focusing their efforts on the SDGs. The SDG market, they predict, will be worth somewhere in the region of $12 trillion between now and 2030. So that means there's opportunities for making money within the market. Also, the cost of the SDGs is expected to be somewhere in the region of $7 to $9 trillion by 2030, the total cost. Yet at the moment, current expenditure on development and overseas aid will probably only get us to less than $2 trillion at that stage. So there's a huge gap here, and we're looking to the private sector to fill this gap. So the demand for change and solutions is there, but unfortunately the current expenditure and the current efforts are not going to meet those demands. So there's a huge opportunity for business to step in there, contribute to sustainable development, and make money and help their business grow. And the final thing I would say, which is, I believe, a very strong argument for businesses to think more about what they should be doing, is that we have an emerging trend of ethical consumers. As you may know, many people nowadays are willing to spend more for products or services from companies who do care more about their social or environmental impact. And interestingly, a recent study has shown that Vietnam is the country in the Asia Pacific where consumers care the most and are willing to pay more if the products and services provided are coming from businesses that do care about their social and environmental impact. So I think there's 3 very good reasons for them to do it. It has been difficult, but all we can do is keep focusing on the information and keep trying to convince them and keep highlighting that they play an important role in this, and that we as UNDP or the UN in Vietnam are willing to work with them so that they can realize their role.
The ultimate goal of business is always profit. So how can sustainable development lead to a positive impact and consequently the profits for business?
Well, as I said, I mean, it's what we like to call, it's almost like the double bottom line. It's profit but impact as well. I mean, the biggest issue is consumers nowadays are responding to environmental or social issues from businesses with their pockets. They're resisting going to businesses, or they're withdrawing from businesses that don't behave well. So it really is already happening for business. I think they're going to have to play catch up in many respects. Obviously, many of the leading multinational companies in the world recognize that they need to respect human rights and the environment if they're going to continue sustainably growing as a business. And for smaller businesses where they may not think that they have the capacity to do so, our message is clear. It's only a few simple steps can help you ensure a sustainable business and enhance your environmental and social impact. And this can really help your business grow. And I should also say that investment are being much more careful about the types of businesses they put their money into. And this is happening year on year, more and more, where they're looking at which businesses can protect their investment in a sustainable way. Yes, that's how they can benefit the most and help their business grow.
Encouraging startups and boosting private sector is one of the main focus of Vietnamese government. So in terms of legal framework, what changes should be made?
I prefer, in terms of what we're, in the SDG challenge, what we're really focusing on is the education in innovation, entrepreneurship, being a business risk taker, but being a responsible business risk taker. But absolutely, in the areas of entrepreneurship, innovation, corporate social responsibility, even basic business skills or mentorship for younger people in terms of how to start a business, maintain a business, and grow a business. These are important skills that I think through our workshop series, there were many examples of Vietnamese young people who have fantastic ideas, but there were also many examples of students who struggled, who felt they didn't have the skills or didn't have the education yet to really build a business or to know more. So I think that's something we're really promoting is innovation and entrepreneurship. And obviously on the other side of what UN does, or in particular UNDP, is we're looking at responsible business. So for businesses, we're looking at policies and education systems that encourage businesses and young business entrepreneurs to look at stamping out corruption, protecting the environment, protecting human rights through business, corporate social responsibility, as I mentioned before, and really being a responsible business person. And then that will in turn have a positive effect on your business and help it grow and help it be sustainable and be both good for business and for development.
Thank you for your sharing. And that's all for Sharing Vietnam today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.